Sorry, my hair's a mess.
Fine, it's fine.
Did you put makeup on?
A little bit.
Tiny bit around the eyes there. I see it. Hi, Sam.
Hi.
Hi.
You all right?
I'm good. I was expecting
Good.
a really, really kind of Geordie accent then.
Oh, I think I have a little bit.
Yeah. Really Geordie. I love it. I got a few Geordie friends, which, I do take the piss a little bit out of them. But anyway, that's a different matter.
Yeah, you're not as broad as I thought, mind.
Well, with my Welsh accent. Oh, it's gone. It
Mm.
disappeared about 4 years, 5 years, maybe 10 years ago.
It hasn't gone.
Hasn't gone. No, it's still there. It's not Steve
Yeah.
Jones or Alex Jones kind of level, but it's Anthony Hopkins, Tom Jones level. They're all called Jones. Why are they all called
I
Jones?
know.
It's mad.
Popular
Mad.
name.
Yeah, definitely. Yours is proper Ant and Dec.
Do you think?
Yeah, just a little bit. Just a little bit. Or what's it called? Sarah Milligan. Milligan?
I've been told that before, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She get on video more. So
I'm not as funny as her, unfortunately.
I'm sure you are. She's not that funny, so I'm sure you definitely are.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
Yeah. So Sam, hi.
Hi.
Thanks for coming on the podcast. Do you want to tell everyone a little bit about yourself? I hate this bit, by the way.
Oh, I know it's awkward, isn't it? Nobody likes to talk about themselves.
No.
Yeah, so direct to rec, been doing it since February with Paul. So I met Paul 6 years ago when I applied for a role in his branch of Adecco. Yeah, so it's just gone from there, really. We had a really good relationship, and yeah, he's someone. He's really inspirational what he's done. He's built the business from the ground, from zero, and then survived a pandemic as just a sole trader essentially. So what we've then done, well, Paul did in January, was rebranded the business, and we've now got the three of us essentially. So yeah,
wow.
good.
What got you
Enjoy it.
into rec? What were you doing? So you were at Adecco before this?
Yeah.
What were you doing at Adecco? What was your desk?
So Adecco was primarily just general high street recruitment at the time. I know that they're more kind of specialist and strategic in what they do now, but when I was there, I started off as a temps consultant. It wasn't for me at all. It was not temps one bit. They say either one or the other, and I'm definitely perm focused. So that's where I started. Went in to do perms, and then a short break away from there, went back as branch manager. Left during the pandemic and came on board as Rec to Rec. Reason being, I genuinely love speaking.
Stop stealing my questions.
Sorry.
Why?
Nightmare?
No, go on.
I genuinely love speaking to like-minded people, and I found that I sell better if I'm selling something that I know inside out. So
I've been arguing this for years.
go on.
I've been arguing this for years because I do engineering. I used to be an engineer. I can talk about engineering to engineers. I get what you mean.
Exactly.
It's so much easier.
Yeah, so I like to sell on kind of tangible success, like results, and I find that because I understand recruitment, I've done temp, I've done contracting, I've done perm, I get it. So I understand what people are saying, and I also understand that quite often you're not in the right environment, or you're not in the right business, because some people look at a recruiter's CV and think they've jumped around, and that's not necessarily the case. Sometimes it's just a bit of a bad fit because all businesses are so different, and I get that, and it's easier for me to be able to. So let's say we've got a candidate who maybe has jumped around a little bit, or maybe has only been in their current employer 6 months but already wants out, it's easier for me to sell that into my client and explain the reasons why, rather than them just send their own CV.
Yes.
9 times out of 10 they might be overlooked. Do you know what I mean?
Because you understand the nuances of what a successful recruiter looks like and what a not successful recruiter looks like, and those little grey areas in the in-between as well, which for one reason or another is why people don't succeed in businesses. But yeah, I totally get that. Are you enjoying Rec to Rec? Is there something that you can see yourself doing for the foreseeable?
Love it.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Like, I genuinely don't think I could do anything else now. I don't know why I didn't do it sooner. I love it. I absolutely love it.
Yeah. It's a strange one, isn't it, Rec to Rec? Who would have thought the recruitment businesses need help, but we all need help to find staff at the end of the day. So
it's odd to explain. So when people ask what I do and they're like, well, what's Rec to Rec? And the only thing that I can really say is we recruit recruiters for recruiters, and people are like, why don't they just do it themselves? Yeah, we get that a lot.
Yeah, but the thing is, this is to explain it to people, is when you're a specialist recruitment business, you are focusing on that sector and only that sector, and there's some advantages and bonuses for doing that. When you start looking for your own staff, that's a different kettle of fish. You're now going from that one sector into a different sector to find people to come and work for you. So
yeah,
it's really, really, yeah, it's just different. It's just harder to do in that sense, and that's why we need someone like you.
It is
with that ability to do that. But also, it's but does. What I guess from your perspective, how busy is it in your sector at the moment? Is it extremely busy, or is it bearable?
Christ, I would honestly, I'm not even joking, I could retire next year if we could fill all the business that we had. We've had to stop taking on new clients essentially because we have so many clients coming to us, can you support us? Because I believe we've got a really good reputation. You know, we get loads of engagement on LinkedIn. We have a lot of people come to us just because they like the cut of our jib, they like what we're putting out there. So we get a lot of clients that way, but also the candidates as well. So yeah, I can't fill all the jobs because there's not enough people out there. Like everyone else, we're in a really candidate short market at the minute, but I think we're probably one of the go-tos, especially in Newcastle.
That's good.
For anybody that potentially is looking to dip the toe and see what might be out there.
Yeah. Is it just the Northeast you cover then, or do you look at the UK as well, or?
Yeah, so we do. We look at all of the UK, but primarily we're just focusing on the north at the moment. But the future plans are to really expand that remit. We can help people outside of the north of England as such, as we've got different tools and some clients that we can, which we work with on a national basis. But essentially, we need someone else to come into the business and really drive that forward.
That's good. That's good. Are you discovering? Are you discovering that the pandemic has caused some big issues to the recruitment industry, or I'm seeing it from more of a candidate perspective than the client, because obviously clients are looking at the moment. But what about candidates?
I think now more than ever we're seeing counter offers more. This year, luckily, we've only had one accepted counter offer. But clients tend to be doing a lot more than they ever have previously to keep their staff. So, you know, they are kind of bending over backwards as such because it's really difficult to find good people. I think there's still a bit of uncertainty as well. People maybe is doing really well where they are, so they're not sure.
I think
it's opening up a lot.
I was going to say, are they keeping good people by using furlough, or are they keeping good? Are they keeping just people, not just good people as well? So your kind of average billers that they probably will put on some sort of plan, something for performance.
Yeah, we are finding that. So people who maybe we might have spoke to previously who what's a nice way to put it, who maybe weren't performing how they
Yeah,
should have,
underperforming.
and now happy where they are because they're kind of being kept on, because people don't want to lose staff because they know it's really difficult to replace them.
I had a feeling this was going to happen. Holding on to the people that, yeah, to say the least.
That maybe shouldn't be held on to, yeah.
Or maybe they should hold on to some people to then hope that time will get them to where they need to be. Because I felt over the years working for some companies, they were letting people go too quickly. And then all of a sudden their desk sprung into life and there was jobs coming in because they spent 6 months building it with very little return. But it does take a time for some desks as well. So we might start seeing that happen.
One thing I don't really agree with is if you're bringing someone in as a trainee, never done recruitment before, and putting them on a 6-month notice, well, a 6-month probationary period, and expecting, them to have paid for themselves within 6 months as a trainee, I don't agree with that. I don't think 6 months is enough time for someone to be fully established in recruitment. I've been in recruitment for 6 years and I still learn every day. It's not every day is a school day in recruitment. There's always something new to know. And the market changes so quickly as well. You can never be, the all-knowing all of the time.
Oh, totally.
So I don't agree with trainees being on a probationary period based on results. Yes, the other things like, how they're fitting in and their attitude and stuff like that.
Exactly. And also when you it depends when you bring a person in your business at the same time. Because if you bring them in July, you've got July and August where, depends which sector it is, manufacturing is shut down. So there ain't many companies to go running after straight away. Then you have a period of pretty good, and then you've got Christmas. And there's various kind of times in the year. If you bring people on expecting them to pay for themselves, they've only got really 3, maybe 4 months of billing before they build a desk that's consistently billing then after that. So I agree. I totally agree with you. And I think the magic number is around about 9 to 12 months where they slowly start making some sort of consistency in that.
Completely agree.
Yeah. Yeah. I when I started my business nearly 6 years ago, I think the first 9, 10 months was, hand to mouth, kind of like I've been in the business, I've been in recruitment 10 years at that point, and I was still like a first year trainee. I was still trying to make money, but also you're building a business as well. So you're trying to get your name out there at the same time. And I think it was about the 10 to kind of 18-month mark where things started falling into place. If I was my boss at the time, which I was, but if I had hired myself at the time and used the same old principles of kind of where I used to work before, I would have sacked myself by month 8, month 9. Because it was that bad. It was that bad in the first few months. Yeah, I made a bit of money, not loads of money, but it was just enough to survive. But that's not enough to make money from in a recruitment business. Are you this is it's a horrible question to ask this, because I think the reason it's a horrible question to ask because I think you're going to be thinking of people in your head, but you're trying not to utilize an example. But you find Are you finding this?
I'm uncomfortable. I'm shuffling around in my chair.
This is what this is about. Are you finding the same type of people are coming through the system again and again and again because they can't find to park their bum in recruitment?
Nah.
So it's interesting.
Yeah, no, we're not.
So different people every time. Then you literally have to find new people every time.
Yeah, we're constantly. I would say the majority of the work we do comes through direct headhunting, to be honest. Very rare, unless if, it's someone seen a post we've put on LinkedIn, or we've helped one of their friends, or they're just maybe a little bit unhappy where they are for whatever reason, they'll come to us. But 9 times out of 10, we're approaching candidates.
Yeah. And how is that going? How is that headhunting? Because I have my issues with headhunting in the best of days. Are people kind of responsive to that headhunt?
mixed bag. So obviously,
It is, isn't
as all recruiters know, a lot of the time you get blanked, nobody responds. But I think so. I have a really different approach. I don't. So one of the complaints that I get from candidates in this area
Yeah.
is that rec to recs will add them and then send them a sales pitch straight away. Are you open to hearing about opportunity? This is a job I've got. Are you interested? And I don't do that at all. So my approach is very much, like I said earlier, I like to speak to like-minded people. So if someone writes something, I mean, your comments on my posts, I love them. So I message you and I'm like, I absolutely love the stuff that you put on there because it's so similar to me in the way I think. So if someone writes something on one of my posts and I think that's top banter, I will add them and I'll say, you know what, your banter's mint and that's why I've added you. If I can ever help you, drop us a line, but I'm not going to hound you.
Yeah.
And the amount of people that say to us, God, that's so refreshing, Sam. Like, you haven't just jumped in with a job or a pitch. Well, no, because I need to get to know you anyways. And
Oh,
you've
that's
got to get to know
perfect.
me and trust me with that search. So
That's it. And I think that's probably the most powerful part of social media that a lot of recruitment businesses are not getting is that interaction, that honesty and being yourself. That's attracting people to
yeah.
come and talk to you about whatever it is that you're talking about. And you don't have to be any kind of genius to do that. You just have to be you, I find.
Absolutely. People buy from people.
Yeah.
And although I'm not selling a tangible product, it's, if people can relate or agree with something that I've put on online or put on LinkedIn, then, if they feel like they want to reach out with messages, then go for it.
Definitely. Message Sam for all your rec to rec needs in this northeast. Call this number now.
Yeah.
I'll put it on the screen. I lost my track then. Social media. Let's go down the social media route because this is how we met, and this is the first time we're actually speaking face to face. And I love doing these podcasts
No.
with people because I try to. When I first started doing podcasts, it was all audio, and I thought because of lockdown, everyone's doing Zoom calls, even Ryan Reynolds. So I thought I'd just do loads of these type of podcasts, which is great though, meeting people on social media. And I always seem to be doing podcasts with people exactly like me, where we put ourselves out there and we do these things. Has it changed you? I mean, obviously you went from a decker, from a corporate world, now to not so corporate. Sorry, Paul. Has it changed you in any way, or have you always been this bubbly, happy person that I've seen?
Okay, difficult question for me to answer. Actually, I love Adecco and I have absolutely nothing bad to say about them. They're a great business.
Yeah.
However, looking back, was I my authentic self all the time? No, I wasn't. And now am I? Yes. And have people noticed a difference? Absolutely. So I get messages all the time. I get phone calls all the time being like, Sam, you're like a new woman. I am. I'm so happy because I'm genuinely like every day. Even have you heard him taking the credit in the background? It's like, oh, thanks, that's me.
I believe him. I believe him.
Yeah, I love what I'm doing. I absolutely love it. And even on a bad day when you do get, you lose a
Yeah.
deal or especially when we had that counter offer, I think a few years ago, something like that would have really knocked me where I was just like, oh, well, we've got so many plates spinning. We're not reliant upon one or two deals dropping out. That's okay.
Yeah.
And because I love what I do, I think that's, I mean, as silly as it is, I take more care of myself. Like, I'm a completely different person now to what I was even going back, 9 months ago.
Is that because Paul's given you freedom to do your job? Because it seems like that's what he's done here, isn't he? I read it in the posts. It's you that's talking, not some corporate kind of thing that you've paid for to do, which I've seen a lot of. It sounds like you.
I think, yeah.
Even the spelling. No,
I
I'm joking.
think
I'm joking.
Paul, yeah, I know. I think he gets that. I don't want to blow my own trumpet by saying this, but I get on with quite a lot of people.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody really thinks. I mean, there will be some people out there that do think I'm a bit of a dick, but I don't think many people
No.
do. So I think And I think Paul likes me because of my personality. So he lets me, just be who I am and say what I want to say and do what I want to do. So it's just so flexible here. And there's no, I don't have to be in the office for a certain time. I don't even have to come in the office if I don't want to. He's given so much rope, but not enough to kind of
hang yourself on.
Make any silly mistakes.
No.
Exactly. Yeah, I know what's expected of us.
But that I think that's the key of a brilliant manager managing someone, but also a brilliant employee who understands it to get it, who's bought into it at the same time. So that's how that synergy, I think, works in these situations. And you see it, and you can see the businesses which are going to do extremely well when they get that, and you can see the businesses which are struggling, that they control and don't have that kind of that process. So yeah, it's mad. So you can work anywhere, anytime, but you still come to the office.
Honest to God, I love the banter. Like literally, so I'm doing a TikTok series at the minute because Paul always eats his dinner early, like all the time. He's in that fridge, 11 o'clock, scoranning his lunch.
I'm the same.
Well, I take the piss out of him for it. And so I've done a TikTok series, and every day when he's getting his lunch from the fridge, I'm recording him on the sly, getting his lunch out, and I'm recording what time it is. Because we have banter like that, like I'll turn up to work, 5 to 9, and I don't have a start time, but he'll be like, "Oh, nice of you to join us, Sam." Like, but it's purely in banter. Like none of it is. Like there's no malice, there's no nastiness. We just get on really well and we bounce off each other. So it works, and I prefer to be here. I like a Friday from home because I have myself a bit of an early finish and a couple of gins. So,
I was going to say it's gin, isn't it? It's gin. 10 o'clock. What? You mentioned TikTok there. I'm still working out TikTok. I enjoy watching TikTok. I seem to watch a lot of people cleaning swimming pools and what else do I watch on TikTok?
The pool guy.
The pool guy. He's awesome. The pool guy. For some reason, I've got onto some random TikToks about people like showing you how to build things and tile walls. I don't know how. I've just watched them and I think, oh, that's really interesting. They're really boring. Or when people cleaning their washing machines. What's that about? I watch it. So
you're guilty. I watch it as well.
I don't know why. Why are we watching people? I don't even clean my own washing machine. Why am I watching someone else do that? But TikTok is something weird about it, isn't it? Something that draws you in. Are you a massive fan? You mentioned TikTok. Are you a massive fan of TikTok? Do you TikTok?
Yeah, I'm probably.
I'm going to find you now, Sam.
Yeah. Oh no, don't. Cringe.
The worst part though, no, you say that, it's cringe. Then you see me find you, and then you look at my stuff, and that's more cringing for me than it's me. So, like,
yeah, I suppose when you look at it like that.
Yeah, I bet you it's all about gin. No,
it's not. It's oh god, so much on there. I don't have any real continuity on it, but I've just launched a business page at Wilton Gilbert, and
call this number now.
Yeah, I'm putting a few just bantery things on there. I know, honestly, I'm terrible. Yeah, so I have. What we're doing on there is rather than any kind of businessy stuff, like we're not going to be putting on. We've got this job. Oh, look at this, 30 grand, whatever.
Yeah.
It's personality based. It's what we're like in the office, bit of banter. There's a few videos on there already, and it's just to kind of get to know what we're like as people. So I don't want anybody to look at that and think, that way.
I think you're discovering what social media should be.
Not kind of professional as such.
Yeah, exactly. I was just saying, you're not. LinkedIn, I think, I know people say, oh, this is not LinkedIn like. There is a thing for LinkedIn. There is a professional methodology to LinkedIn. Yeah. But you can talk about your kids and a few other bits and bobs. I think LinkedIn stories could have been what TikTok is, but no one's kind of used them. But what you're doing with TikTok and for the business is exactly what it's about. Behind the scenes, couple of 30-second videos and just having a bit of a laugh and a bit of a banter and that side of it. And then the people that will find you and follow you on there will be the TikTok-minded people that will love to see that from you and from your business. But then when we're in work and we got LinkedIn in front of us, we do want to hear thoughts and theories and ideas and job adverts and stuff like that, don't we? That's how I see it anyway.
Yeah, absolutely.
A lot of people
Totally
disagree.
agree. Absolutely. One thing of on LinkedIn, I can post. So I posted something about how far are you willing to travel to work,
I
and
remember
it's
that.
got it's got something ridiculous like 130,000, 130,000 views. But then I'll post a job ad on there and it gets like 10 views.
Yeah,
And I'm like, well, I thought that this is what LinkedIn was for. So yeah, it's a tough one, like to get your head around, but it's just the algorithm, isn't it? And if you
totally.
get it, you get it. If you don't, you
I
don't.
I used to post videos on LinkedIn, and I used to get, I'm not joking, I used to get 50, 60,000 views and hundreds of likes on some of the stuff I posted. I'd be lucky to get 10 likes and a couple of hundred views now on them. So I don't know what LinkedIn's algorithm is promoting more now, because I think it's long
Yeah.
form posts. I'm not too sure what it is anymore. But I do think now we're heading in an area where if you haven't got something like LinkedIn Premium, you don't get bumped up the top. And all these little kind of bits and bobs that LinkedIn are trying to get you to. You haven't got running adverts in the
Yeah.
background or something. So I think we're going to slowly see people realize that we've got to spend some money to get further ahead within it. But this is where then
Absolutely. Well, one thing I do like that they've done. Well, I mean, I don't like it because it's really frustrating for me with the 100 cap per week. But I like that they've done that across the board. So it doesn't matter if you buy LinkedIn Recruiter at 15 grand a year.
Yeah.
You can still only add 100 people. So it's not.
Yeah.
They're not saying to get to be able to add more people, you need to pay X amount of money. It's for the different functionality. It's frustrating though. So I mean, my job is networking. My job is to connect with people.
But it now takes the lurchers which are sitting in the background, just connecting all day long, not producing content.
Oh,
and LinkedIn
yeah.
is about producing content. So if you can keep people on the site longer and looking at your stuff longer, LinkedIn is going to boost you up, and then you'll get more connection requests from doing content and for being kind of you on LinkedIn than the people which are sitting in the background. I'm in various Facebook groups, and they're all moaning about this, and they don't see the bigger picture with it. And you're doing all the right things by doing what you're doing, but there's people that don't have the ability to do that because they work for the big corporate businesses, or they just don't have a personality. Something like that. So it's really difficult to kind of explain to people why they should be doing it, because they don't see it beneficial to themselves. But I guess from kind of everyone's perspective, rec to rec at the moment is extremely busy. Is there anything that candidates could be doing right now? Let's say you're in a job, you're thinking of looking. Is it worth engaging even though you're not going? Is it worth kind of starting a conversation and giving you a time frame in which to think?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So I started speaking to a candidate when I first joined. So what, 7 months ago?
Yeah.
And we only just placed that candidate this month, who starts his new role next month. So just keeping in contact. If there's anything that you think it might not be right where you currently are, there's absolutely no obligation at all to have a confidential conversation with me. You are not obliged to then go and interview with one of my clients.
Yeah.
I'm quite happy to speak to people about the things that other businesses do. I speak to clients about that. So, if they know that maybe it's one of their processes isn't quite right, or a benefit that they've got, they'll come to me and ask, what are other people doing? What are my competitors doing?
That's the place to be. Yeah.
I'll have those conversations as well. Yeah. So it's non-committal having a conversation, and I don't think it would harm anyone at all to actually speak to one of us and just get a bit of market intel. So I spoke to someone who was on £23,000, who should have really been on like 30, if not more.
Wow.
And they were just so underpaid where they were, but they didn't know that because that was all they knew. That was the business they knew. And that's what the benchmark was across that business. And they'd never explored it. So they didn't know. And they were so severely underpaid. And one of their main motivators was money, was finance. So, you know, it's always worth having the conversation. And if you're in a position where you listen to what I've got to say and say, do you know what, actually, I've got it pretty good where I am. I'm going to stay. Great. As long as you're happy, it's about what's best for you.
The fear, I used to, I think a rec to rec placed me a few years ago. And when I was looking, this is many, many years ago, I didn't realize the dodgy ones that would get your CV and throw them out everywhere the moment you've spoken to them. Even if you said, no, that's not for me, they've thrown your CV out everywhere. And I remember one day my boss coming to me at the time saying, I've just received your CV from this rec to rec company. I was like,
Horrendous.
I
So
know
bad.
nothing. I spoke to them, but I know nothing about this. Why would you do this? This is preposterous. But that was the worry. That was the worry back then. Things changed in the industry, or is it still the same? And this is the great thing about putting yourself out there, because you do look
Yeah.
different by not doing these things.
Absolutely. So I had this concern from a candidate I spoke to yesterday, another rec to rec
Yeah.
in our area had kind of found their CV on a job board and just flung it left, right, and centre to various different clients. And word spreads. If it's just a speculative, I mean, nobody in. I would never ever just get a CV and send it out on a mass mailer to different businesses. I pick up the phone, I have a conversation, and then if they're interested in receiving the CV, I'll send the profile over.
Yes.
But unfortunately, yes, it does still happen. I don't do it. I think it's completely pointless. You just make yourself look silly when the candidate says, well, I'm not interested anyways. But it does happen, and it's one of the main complaints that we're getting about kind of competitors in our market of having a really bad relationship with another firm because they've done that to them. And people are worried about it. Like every conversation any candidate has with either, Paul or I, is completely confidential. Like we're not, and if you're worried about your employer finding out you're looking and losing your job, we would tell the client, if you were interested in one of the roles that we were working on, we would tell that client that you were concerned about that. Can you make sure that this is extremely discreet? Even though it always is,
Yeah.
we enforce that. We
You
make
have
sure
to.
that
Yeah, it's
there's no way that can happen. Yeah.
this is the problem with the recruitment industry. It is a cottage industry, isn't it? I say everyone knows everyone, but everyone's aware of what everyone else is doing at the same time. So there is always that
Yeah.
worry. And the moment, and I'm sorry to say, rec to rec. It's not just rec to rec. It's recruiters and other sectors as well that do it. Breaks that trust and throws your CV everywhere. Not only does it ruin you as a recruiter's problem of your desk not being able to perform, but also it ruins that candidate's opportunity and the client's opportunity to hire someone that they may have wanted or a job they may have wanted at the same time. So it's just ruining it for everyone. Yeah. So tell me a little bit about yourself then, Sam, if you want to be open and honest with the world.
What do you want to know? What do you
No,
want to know?
what do you want to tell us? Gin is one of your. What type of gin do you drink? What's your favorite gin?
Oh, what's my favourite? Oh God, that's a really tough question.
Gin,
All
gin
of the
flavor.
gin.
Yeah, I was going to say gin flavor is my favorite.
Uh, gin flavour, anything. Probably orange at the minute. Quite like an
Ooh.
orange gin.
Ooh. My wife's got me into pink gin.
Fun.
I never thought I'd drink gin. I got into pink gin.
Sickened myself of it. I
Really?
used to drink it all the time. Pink gin. Yeah, I loved
Yeah.
it. Now it makes me feel a bit sick. I don't like it anymore. I've gone off it.
It when you add summer fruits to it, it makes me feel sick. Do you know when people put like frozen from summer fruits in their
Too
pink gin?
much.
Yeah, and then if you put a little bit
Yeah.
too much gin, yeah. But yeah, I drink that. I'm going camping soon. We've got a bottle of gin and 2 kids. This is going to be fun.
I love camping. Love camping. Just been camping recently, actually. So we
Oh,
know someone that owns a forest,
what?
and he lets us hire. Yeah, he owns a forest, and he lets us hire it off him. So we have like exclusive use of this forest. I mean, it's terrifying. Like it's so scary because you're in the middle of a forest, and it's like a group of 8 girls. And yeah, we get scared, so we have like a dunny to go to the toilet, and so it's rotten. It's absolutely minging, but I love it. There's no showers. Disgusting.
It's like a
I
start
love that
of
life.
a
Like I
horror
love
movie.
getting up on the morning. Yeah, it is. Honestly, it really is. Like if you see us, so we get up, crack of dawn. It's still probably dark. we're setting away our little campfires to make breakfast and probably cracking open a beer as well. And it's just all a bit mental, but it's pitch black. There's no lights. It's in the middle of a forest. There's no lights. The sun doesn't get through because of all the trees.
God,
It's pretty spooky actually. Like when I think about it, I think, oh no, I don't fancy that. But when I'm there, I love it.
that's amazing. Do you know what? We would go camping in proper campsites, and it's been a long time since I've done that. But a group of 8 women in the forest in a tent, it's kind of like the most weirdest thing you ever hear, but it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. Oh God.
We have the best time. So we take like a speaker, so we blast the music because, I'm a strong advocate of blasting the music until you can't feel a thing. Like I like that.
Yep.
So we just blast the music. We're in the middle of a forest. Nobody can complain because there's nobody around. We're not disturbing anyone. So we're just going to have a bit of a blowout and we thoroughly enjoy it.
Oh, awesome. God. Do you do that every year with your friends? Obviously, COVID aside, or is that kind of just something you just wanted to do this year?
About 3 times a year.
Oh, okay, it's a
Yeah,
regular
we do
thing.
it all the time. Yeah, yeah, it's right next to a beautiful waterfall in Ashgill.
Yeah.
And we spend a lot of time at the water because we quite like wild swimming. So we've done the Great North Swim and things like that. So yeah, we do it quite a lot because we like to get out and about and with nature.
I never thought this of you. This is awesome.
Why?
I don't camping in the middle of nowhere, swimming in the wild. This is like you're like the female version of Bear Grylls. Those kind of things.
Oh, that's my dream, It's my apps. I mean, I wouldn't stick it. It would be the sandflies for me, but I would love to. I would absolutely love to go on that program. Yeah. So I think what's really helped though is we've got a great CRM and we've found ways that work because Paul and I are very, very different. Paul's quite, it might be why it works. So Paul loves detail, like he likes to be right in the thick of the detail, whereas I'm quite fast paced and I haven't got any time for the admin. So Paul takes a lot of that from me. So he'll say to me, Sam, you're too busy, slow down. I'm like, no, I like it. I like to be like this.
I'm the same.
I would rather be, I'd rather be bang, bang, bang on the phone and speaking to people and interviewing candidates and arranging interviews rather than, updating the spreadsheet and updating the CRM. So Paul takes that away from me very, very nicely and he does all of that for me, so which keeps us really organised. Because I'm not going to lie, if I had to do that myself, it probably wouldn't be as organised because I'm too in it in the admin for me. So in previous jobs, I've kind of done my week and kept my admin back for a Friday afternoon where it's quite slow.
Yeah.
Whereas now I don't need to do that because Paul does it for us because he's a good egg.
So let's just explain. Paul is now your admin and your PA. And he doesn't know it. So who's really running this company?
Oh, definitely Paul. Do you know what? He brings me back down to earth because I get myself because I'm loving what I'm doing. I get myself like a bit excitable and sometimes get ahead of myself.
Brilliant.
So like if I speak to a brilliant candidate, I'm like, I'm going to place him, and I'm going to get it. And Paul's like, right, okay, calm down, slow down. And he grounds me very, very well. But he's so he's honestly, but do you know what? It's totally different than what he was like to work for at Adecco. Totally different. He's like a different man.
Oh, that's awesome.
He was my manager at Adecco.
Ah, right. Now I kind of see the connection.
Different.
Yeah. It is, isn't it?
It's totally different.
Running your own business, you are a totally different person. I've just realised it's nearly 11 o'clock. Has he gone to the kitchen yet?
He hasn't. I don't know where he is actually.
He's
left me alone for 5 minutes.
He is, isn't it? He's gone to get food, isn't he? That's where he's gone. He's gone to get something.
Wouldn't surprise me at all if he walks back in with his sandwich in his hand.
Yeah.
I'll let you know. Yeah, he's a serial snacker.
He's a serial snacker. That's awesome. So thank you for your time, by the way. It's absolutely
welcome.
awesome getting to know you and everything. And obviously, there's probably tons more we could talk about. Mostly when I find your TikTok later, that's what I'm going to talk about with you.
Don't.
In,
Oh
other than call this number now,
no. Yeah.
where can people find you mostly? Where can they find you?
LinkedIn.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it? Everyone, LinkedIn, drinking gin at bus shelters, in forestries, women. I don't
Yeah.
know. What
No,
do you
you
guys
can.
do in Newcastle? I don't know. No, I'm joking. I'm only kidding.
Yeah.
Oh,
Kind of plastered all over the telly, isn't it? It's that bad representation of
it's
Newcastle.
terrible.
We're not all like that.
I know
It's awful, isn't it?
it is. Try being Welsh. It's terrible sometimes. Oh, sheep shaggers. Oh God.
What was it? The Valleys, wasn't it? The
Oh,
Valleys was the Welsh reality TV
yeah.
kind of
Like
Towie Geordie
Jewish.
Shore knockoff, wasn't it?
That's it. Yeah. It was. I watched about 3 episodes of it, and I just cried in the dark because that's not how people. I lived in Cardiff I lived near Cardiff, so I used to go out in Cardiff quite a lot. And you think, oh, that's not how. There is. There is. When you used to remember rugby players like Gavin Henson and people like that, where they had that kind of lifestyle. It was there, and they all lived down in Cardiff Dock, and it was very similar to that kind of lifestyle. They were very disconnected from reality in that kind of world. And I'm sure every town and city has similar people. I've come across them in recruitment, of all places, as well.
Yeah, there is some. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
That's all I'll say on that.
yeah. We're going to say nothing. But thank you. No, thank you for your time, Sam. Thank you for
No,
everything.
thank you.
And
It's been a pleasure. Thanks for having me on.
now you got really more Newcastle-y then, as you said that.
Tone it down a little bit. I do
I'm only
try.
kidding. Don't tone it down. It's beautiful. Don't turn it down. It's brilliant.
Oh,
I love
thank
it.
you.
I love it.
You're
I
a
love
good man.